today's video we are going to talk about what competitive speedrunning is, where we can find it and watch it, and what are the different formats that are getting used in the tournament. And in next week's video we are going to talk about why I believe in competitive speedrunning is a great opportunity to grow the community and the entire speedrunning scene. So split up in two parts this video, what is competitive speedrunning? Let's get started. Hello everybody, my name is Flash177 and today I'm going to talk about competitive speedrunning. So first of all, there are a lot of tournaments and competitive speedrun leagues going on all over the internet. Pretty much not all over the internet, actually only on 2 channels. And these 2 channels I'm going to recommend and share with you today. So if you want to watch and find some tournaments to participate maybe in, to get into a new speed game, and or just simply to watch and learn something new about a game, I can highly recommend to you GSA and Speedgaming. GSA stands here for Global Speedrun League. Meanwhile, Speedgaming is another organization that is pretty much the oldest competitive speedrun organization. They're hosting a lot of tournaments and are very long in the scene. They have multiple channels and they host multiple tournaments of different communities. Meanwhile, GSA is more on the super high level competitive aspect. They host different speedrun leagues of the most competitive and most speedrun games. And they actually have a lot of prize pools involved into it and try to monetize speedrunning on its entirety. You can find all the relatable links to them in the description. I put everything in, let it be the schedule, their Twitter or their Twitch. They have streams over at Twitch for pretty much 24/7, so you might want to check them out right after this video and to see what they are all about. There's probably a speedrun tournament going on in this exact moment, so check it out right after this video. So now that we know where we can watch different speedrun tournaments and leagues, we are going to talk about the different race systems that are used in these tournaments, because there are small varieties you will watch. But first we need to start with the most simplest and the most used one, which are regular races. 99% of all speedrun tournaments are using this format due to its simplicity and the ability to apply it to every speed game. There's not that much I can explain about it, since it's just 2 players who are going to race in their video games and in their speed games, and they are heads up, and whoever finishes first is going to win the race and progress further into the tournament, and the tournament is getting played out up until the point where we have one winner who is the best of all pretty much. So yeah, it is pretty much like a regular speedrun, but with 2 players who are trying to be faster than their opponent. What can be exciting or entertaining about this to watch? It's like literally like a speedrun, but just watching 1 player. Now you watch 2 players. What is special about it? Well, I'm going to tell you now. First of all, yes, it can be quite boring and less entertaining to watch a race if there's a huge skill gap between both runners. But that's something that can happen in every sport, in esport literally. When 2 competitors are just far away from each other in skill, that can just happen everywhere. But when you find 2 runners who are around the same skill and around the same speed, you will get some awesome moments. There are races where 2 players are literally in sync and you are excited to watch these moments, since you're just hoping that your favorite runner is not making a mistake and that his opponent makes a mistake first so he falls back again. Or you get moments from intense series, since these tournaments can also be held in best of 3 or best of 5 formats even, and you have intense series where some player choked towards the end of the race and now we are pretty much within 1 second of each runner. These moments keep you at the edge of your seat pretty much. And that is what makes competitive speedrunning exciting to watch if you're into it. I watched personally a couple of races and even tournaments. I mean, I played also in tournaments already, and these moments where you are in sync, these moments where you just finish a race within a couple of seconds or even less than a second. That is what we are watching for competitive speedrunning, and I was in a similar position myself once. I had a race in Earthbound back in the day when I was racing Earthbound, where I was in sync with my opponent, and after I rewatched the race, since I didn't know I was in sync, I got so excited about it and it was really cool to watch, and I watched the chat reaction and everyone went really crazy about it. And that's what competitive speedrunning is literally about these intense moments. That is what every competitive sport is about. There are moments of triumph and there are moments of, I don't know, the opposite of triumph. There are moments of failure, now I got the opposite. And that is how every competitive activity goes in our life, and that is why competitive speedrunning is so much fun to watch and to participate in. That's simply it. So now, after we covered regular races as a format for tournaments, there are two others I want to quickly shout out and talk about in this video. One of them being randomizer tournaments and the other being bingo tournaments. Both are, in my opinion, much more fun to watch and to participate in, simply because they are much more competitive, in my opinion. But why is not every tournament using these formats then, if they are so much more competitive? Well, that's simply explained because not every speed game has a developed randomizer that is laid down to competitive aspects. And secondly, not every game has a bingo board that is well developed and well balanced to make it competitive appealing as well. So every tournament can be a regular heads-up race tournament, but not every tournament or every game can be a regular randomizer or bingo tournament. But what are these formats, since I haven't explained yet what they are all about and what makes them so much more competitive? Randomizers are mostly represented in the Legend of Zelda games, especially Zelda: A Link to the Past has a pretty huge community. There are also other games that have randomizers, but we will mainly talk about Legend of Zelda randomizers. Mainly because these games have a lot of collectible items and different item locations which can be easily randomized. Since the concept of a randomizer is to take every item in the game, like from every chest and from every other location you get items from, and to shuffle them all around over the entire world. So each and every one, you will find your items in different locations of the world. And in order to finish the run, you need to find different items in order to progress further into the game. Plus, there's a certain logic in each and every randomizer. Quick example here, if you need the bow to finish the game and to progress further or to enter a certain area, the bow will never lie in that certain area or beyond the certain area, otherwise the bow would never be accessible and the game would never be beatable, right? And that makes randomizers so cool. It has a certain logic and that logic can be learned and analyzed and studied, so players can develop certain skill sets. In every sport and esport, each and every game is something very unique. You will never see the same game twice. But speedruns are very repetitive on that point, so in regular race tournaments, you will see most of the time the same run happening over and over again, since players don't have to adapt and don't have to change their route at all. But in randomizers, you see two players approach the game in different ways and approach each and every run in different ways, so you see different outcomes, and that makes it so exciting to watch, since every one is something new you can be excited about. Bingo tournaments have similar advantages like randomizer tournaments do have. Since each and every race uses a different bingo board, every race needs a different approach than the other did. The concept of bingo is in speedrun meanwhile very simple, but I still will explain it with a little tutorial here. So a bingo board in speedruns is a 5x5 board, in total 25 unique squares with a unique goal. Each bingo card has also a certain logic behind it, so in the end every bingo board is around the same difficulty. And to simply win on one of these bingo races, you just need to make a bingo happening. So a column, a row or a diagonal needs to be completed and filled, and then you won. Most of these boards, by the way, you can find on the website called bingosync.com. You can also submit bingo boards of your own game to that, and you can develop your own bingo boards, but I have to make another video about this topic somewhere in the future. This is not the topic of this video, but the link of this website is in the description. With that, each and every runner will most likely approach the run in a different way like the other. For example, some runners may choose other goals than their opponents, since they believe certain goals are faster for them because of their strengths or their weaknesses, or they try to go for the same goals but they do it in complete different order. So it's always nice to see how the player adapts to the bingo board and thinks about it, and comes up with new ideas. There are also certain goals on bingo boards you never see be completed on regular speedruns of the game. For example, Super Mario 64 has bingo goals which require you to collect a certain amount of 1-ups, and in a regular speedrun you normally never focus on collecting 1-ups, but in the bingo you need to. So you see, bingo gives each and every run its own unique twist, and players can play with their strength or with their weaknesses and avoid certain goals because they are bad at them. And that gives its own unique twist, which is so exciting to watch. And bingo races can be very crazy and go back and forth very quickly, and the strategic behind it is very fun to participate in, but also to watch and understand the players. There are players who are really good at bingo but are, for example, not as good in any percent like other players are, since bingo requires a completely new skill set from the runner, and you need to approach the game in a very different way, which makes it very cool and something unique to watch. The cream of the crop in bingo races are lockout bingo races, since in these races you have some opponent interaction. You don't aim for rows and columns anymore, you aim to get 13 goals before your opponent gets 13 goals. Since once a goal is taken, your opponent can't take it anymore. So you have to be a little bit more strategic and thinking about what your opponent might go for and try to snipe some goals away. Or you know what your opponent is already in, so you stop going for the same goals as he is. Can be also a strategic element. In this clip I'm going to show you here, Misushi realizes that his opponent is already in the part of the game he wants to go for, and then quickly decides to heads off and go to another part. This footage, by the way, was from Oddbod. He had a bingo league over at his channel, and I'm very thankful that I can use the footage. If you want to check out his stream, his link is in the description. So that's it. Now that we learned all about different tournaments and leagues, I hope you are going to join some more speedrun tournaments, because they are a great opportunity to get started with a game or to get into a community. If you have yet participated in a tournament already, then leave a comment about it. I'm pretty sure most of you already participated in or are going to participate in. Please tell me about your future plans with speedrun tournaments. My name was Flash77. Check out my stream, it's in the description. All my social media is in the description. I stream every Monday, Tuesday and Thursday 6 PM. We talk a lot about different off topics, so if you just want to hang out and chat about your thoughts in speedrunning or whatever it is, then please join. We are always welcoming new people. And see you all in next week's video, where I'm going to continue this topic and I'm going to talk about why I believe competitive speedrunning is a great opportunity to grow the entire speedrun scene, pretty much. See ya next time. Okay, we go for this. Now we go for this. Hello! No! Oh! I won't make it. I won't make it. No. Wait. Ah.